All right, let's go ahead and get started. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. We have a mic in the room, so please ensure you are using the mic each time you ask a question. If you are joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We will address questions in the room first and get to Zoom if time allows. Recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Now let's open it up to a statement from Coach Gruick, followed by questions for the players. We will hold questions for the coach until the end.
All right. I would say happy birthday to Dom. First off, I just want to say that. Yep. Family showed up from the Czech today. And so a very special day for her, and what a way to celebrate for all of us. Eastern's a really good team. I think the word I want to use because of the circumstances, annoyingly good. We're supposed to win this game, of course. We're at home. We're a 3 seed, all that. And all week long, I'm watching, and I'm like, man, this team causes trouble. And I love the way they play. I love the way they compete. I love how gritty and tough they are. They've got an elite point guard. That's a great decision maker. They can change the way they play. They can go small and cause us trouble. And so I knew this was going to be a really tough game. So hats off to them, not only for a great game, but a great year. Obviously very well coached, and it was what I thought it was. It was they disrupted everything early, turned us over 8 times in the first quarter. It's been a couple weeks since we've played. It looked like it, and then we settled in, and I really liked the way we rebounded. I really liked the way we got the ball inside. That was obviously the plan, and so that second quarter was special. Dom was a big part of that. Talia moved to the 1 for a stretch, and showed her leadership, and it was a calming presence for us, and then we established ourselves, and so I thought today was just ultimately it was what we needed to do, and it was a gritty, tough win, and I'm really proud of the team, and obviously it was fantastic to play in front of Beaver Nation. Just what a great crowd, and so it's just a feel-good day for us, and 1 down.
Lindsay Schnell, USA Today. Dom, happy birthday. So supposedly that's not the only thing you're celebrating. You're turning 19, yes. Right? But also your family is here for the first time. Can you tell us about that? Were you surprised, or did you know they were coming?
So thank you. I knew they were coming. They told me like 5 days ago. So I was so excited. They always supported me. So I was so happy they could come and watch me because they enjoyed it a lot. So I'm having a great time, and I'm excited to play in front of them one more time before they leave.
Trevor Denton, KVAL TV. Dominica, when did you know you were going to have an incredible day today? I mean, how early in this game did you feel like you had the hot hand in this one?
I just came in. I did what I was supposed to do, mostly. And then the first shot came in, fall in. And my teammate just created wide open shots for me, so I just shot them. That's it. I feel like this was teamwork, so I'm proud of my teammates and happy to play another game.
Reagan, you put a fear into the whole entire Gill Coliseum when you went down. Talk about what happened and how does the ankle feel?
Ankle feels good. I just stepped wrong. Obviously, it happens sometimes. Ankles are like that, but I'm feeling better. Just gonna ice it up and get ready for practice tomorrow.
Brenna Green, Coin 6. Dominica, you just had probably your best game so far in a Beavers uniform on your birthday with your family in the stands in your first NCAA tournament game. Where does this day just rank in terms of days that you've had in your life?
Well, this was amazing. The crowd here never played in front of a crowd big like this. So I was enjoying every moment of this game, and it was a big game for sure.
Reagan, you're just smiling ear to ear now. I mean, you always are, but especially right now, listening to Dominica answer some of those questions. Seems like a hallmark of this team is you don't know who's going to step up on any given night. What does Dominica mean to this team, and what did her performance mean tonight?
Oh, my goodness. You all just witnessed it. When I feel like Dom is the one that when we go into a drought of some sort, offensively, defensively, she just shows up, and the next thing you know, she's blowing by her person and taking it to the rim and giving us a layup when we need it. We saw that especially when we played Cal earlier this year. She was just a spark when we needed it. And so that's how we describe her off the court, too, is just this energetic spark that she brings to our team. And everybody saw that tonight. I mean, just Dom coming off and causing all kinds of havoc offensively and defensively. And so we're lucky to have her here and have her on her birthday and get a dub for her today.
Dom, before today, what was your best birthday ever? Can you tell us about it?
Ooh. Well, that's a hard question. I don't know really. Last birthday, I feel like this one actually, because last birthday I was in the States, but my family couldn't come. So now they are here, and I can play basketball. They can be here. They can watch me. So I would say this is the best birthday I had so far.
Nick Dashel from the Oregonian. Reagan, it seemed obvious during the first half that the plan was to get the ball to you inside. It seemed like you guys were so intent to get the ball. The windows were so small on those passes into you. Were you surprised at all at some of the passes that came into you, just given how closely guarded you were?
Yeah, the goal of the game was to get the ball to the X. And so we've been talking about that all week, is just get it to the X, get it to that spot on the court where we can just create layups for one another, whether that's someone driving and dumping it off to me or someone driving and no help is there, and so they take it themselves. Whatever that was our goal this week. And so obviously you said it, that we started that way and just tried our best to pound it in there. Obviously, keeping the ball high was super important because they have really scrappy guards that can just come in and take it from you whenever they want. And so that was super important, just catching high and finishing high throughout this game. And so I got blocked once you saw one of those guards come in. So it was just scrappy. It was a fight down there. But that was the goal, was to get it there off the dribble. We saw Dom do, obviously. And then my guard just giving me great passes up high and keeping it high.
Alec Dietz, registered guard. Reagan, coach was saying the other day that this just feels normal for you guys, even though this was your first NCAA tournament game for a lot of you. What about this just kind of felt just like a normal environment for you guys to be playing in and ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously playing in Gill helps. We're one of the lucky teams that have worked hard all season, that we get this opportunity to play in front of our fan base here, which is absolutely incredible. Y'all heard them tonight. They are so loud, and they aren't scared to share their opinions about a call. And so it's so fun to just be engaged with them throughout the game. So that's obviously one advantage that kind of makes it normal, is that home game feeling. And then obviously just playing together. I mean, we all saw everybody step up tonight. Everybody, just about everybody scored. Obviously, Dom having a great night, and then Tamia, and then Kelsey coming in like she did in that fourth quarter, and just killing it. And so it just felt normal, where everybody was contributing, everybody was stepping up. And of course, March Madness hits, and there's a dial that needs to be cranked because it is March, and your season could end at any given night. But at the same time, you don't want to switch up anything with it if it's been working all year. And so just continuing to have everybody contribute offensively, defensively, keeping the energy up has been super important, and we're excited to do that on Sunday again.
Are there any other questions for the players? No? Thank you, guys. You guys are good to head to the locker room.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Go Beavs.
All right, now we can open it up to questions for Coach Ruick.
Radio. Coach, you talked about the slow start, turnovers early, then your team went on an 18-2 run. What do you think spurned that?
Just remembering what we were doing. I think, I think Talia had a big role during that stretch. Dono, I should say, picked up her second foul, and I just pushed T to the one, during that stretch. And I think just she had a calm presence during that. And I think that's what we all needed at the time, was just to settle down, see the floor a little more clearly. We were forcing passes, as was mentioned earlier, inside, and then we just executed better. Our defense, picked up as well. I thought the combination of AJ and Dom was long. They were very accurate. Ray, we were controlling the boards, and then we established ourselves inside. So I just thought we executed better overall, during that stretch.
Scott, Brendan Slaughter, BeaversEdge.com. Good to see you again.
You as well.
Curious, just your take on, after not hosting for a couple years, being back here in Gill. Obviously, you talked about it a little bit in the leading up, but just being back, and did it kind of feel a little like deja vu to a few years ago?
A little bit. A little bit. The game was closer a few years ago, though, so this felt good today. No, it's nice to have this, back in Gill, and we were blessed to be able to do this for several years in a row, right? And it just felt like, well, this is going to keep rolling, and then things happen, and so to be back feels normal in a way, but I'm really excited for our fans that have stuck with us, through a couple down years, and man, they came back in force this year. I mean, I think we're on pace to set an attendance record this year, and so for being down, there's something about this team that is so endearing that has just brought everybody out, and so looking forward to getting to do it one more time.
Hey, Scott. Kind of like I was saying to Reagan, you never really know who's going to step up and explode for a huge game. Tonight it was Dominica. What is it about this team that allows for that allows for it to be a different person each time that could step up for you?
Well, talent throughout the roster is number one. Everybody has a strength and everybody has a gift. Then that allows us as coaches to kind of manipulate things towards what the defense is giving us or taking away. And, sometimes people are going, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's a certain type of game. Sometimes it's a different type of game. And so we're so versatile in the way we can operate, and so this game, with transition was a thing for us. We were looking to run a little bit. Inside out was a thing. They had to double, and so that created opportunities on the perimeter. And, Dom's great inside or in transition, and then she's great on an inside out kick out pass, and so who knows who it will be the next night, but great teams, I think, have the ability to hurt you in many different ways, and that's been a strength of our program and our team this year in particular.
Brenna Green, Coin 6. Just what's going through your mind as you watch Dominica have the game that she has? It's her birthday. Her parents are watching her play college basketball for the first time. So what's just going through your mind?
Dreamy scenario. I mean, it's these types of moments that we hope for everyone. And so just to know that, and I just got to see him before the game, today, and get to welcome him. I just happened to see him in the tunnel, and I knew they were here, but I just happened to get to see him, and they were so excited to be here, and for Dom being away from home for most of the last 3 years, they're such a tight family. They stayed so close. They came and supported us in Italy in August, so we got to see them and meet them over there, so it was like a reunion a little bit. But you just hope that for someone that, those moments won't be too big or they won't overthink it. And, Dom's just aggressive. That's just who her personality is, and that's what we needed today. We needed just an aggressive mindset overall, and she gave us that, so that's as good as it gets for her, best birthday ever. It's pretty special for somebody to be able to say that, and for all of us to share it with her.
Les Garrett, Corvallis Gazette-Times. Unless I'm mistaken, you're unbeaten in first-round NCAA tournament games, 8-0.
All right.
Yes. What is the secret to, not showing up on the upset list on the opening day of the tournament?
Yeah, execution. Everybody's good this time of year, and I think those of you who were around the last time we hosted, it came down to, we had to upset Boise State that night, the way they played. It was a fantastic finish. I think we were down 4 or something with 15 seconds, something like that, and found a way that night. I can't remember exactly because I haven't wanted to think about it anymore. But these games are the hardest for a coach. There's no question. This is more of a relief than joy for me. In the right mindset, it's joy, but my actual emotion is, we have to win this one. You can't lose tonight, and but you could, and so that's what makes it that. And so I think the team just coming out and executing, having a week to prepare, I think helps as well, and being at home. I mean, all those things add up to, I guess, wins.
Ronald Clark, KMTR. Excuse me if you've already answered this, but you obviously being a coach who lays your hat on your teams being defensive, stalwarts. 6 steals, 6 blocks tonight. What did you make collectively of their defensive performance?
Of whose? Sorry.
Yours.
Ours, okay. I loved it. I mean, the goal before, I don't know if it was a team's goal, but I threw it at them. I'm like, let's do our best to hold them to their lowest point total. And I think it was 52 going into today, and they got to 51, I think, or 50, one of the two. And so 51, 50. Oh, they got to 53? Dang it. All right, so we were close. But I knew going into it. Thank you. So anyway, we talked about how difficult that was going to be because of who they are, their ability to all play one-on-one and create their own shot. That's what makes that team what they are. So it was going to take a gritty, tough effort, and you're going to have to win all those individual battles, and do what we do, which is keep everybody in front of us, make them take a bad shot or a tough shot anyway, and then rebound, And so I thought we would need to do that, but we would really need to be accurate in the way they use ball screens and the way Loetta can manipulate a defense. Not easy, and so I really thought our defensive intensity and our effort overall was outstanding, against a really difficult team to defend. And so it's who we are, though, like you mentioned. It's been our identity all year, and it's the reason we are where we are, is this team's commitment to that end of the floor. So it made me happy.
We have time for one more question.
Brenna Green, Queen 6, just the other thing that struck me up on the podium was the smile on Reagan's face when Dominica was talking. Just how does it strike you when you see that huge smile on Reagan's face? Because you could just feel the infectious energy from her.
You're focused on the cool stuff. This is why I do what I do. It's actually the core of what I do. It's what I've learned is the thing that matters most. I'm certainly a teacher and all that, but creating an atmosphere where people can reach their potential is what I do. And it's what I work so hard at, and our staff does, in finding the right people to add to our roster that are going to complement each other so well. And what you're seeing is in Ray is an outward focus that she lives with. It's what makes her who she is. She is like that every day. She's happier for others than herself. She will deflect everything to her teammates, and that's not an act. That's who she is at her core. Well, that's also true of this team. That's who this team is at its core. They celebrate each other more than they celebrate anything about themselves, and they're selfless. And that right there is what's allowed me to be as confident as I am in this group, knowing that, and it's also allowed us to grow like we have. I mean, this team doesn't look like a young team very often. And it doesn't look inexperienced, yet we are fairly young, and at this point, we are fairly inexperienced. But they overcome it because they're fighting so hard for each other and they care so much, So that what you just witnessed in Ray is what it's all about to me. It's creating the best atmosphere for your teammate every day, and that leads to people and teams reaching their potential.
Thank you for being here, Coach.
Thank you.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Good to go? This water. Yeah. No. Okay, we're going to get started. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. We have a mic in the room, so please ensure you are using the mic each time you ask a question. If you are joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for the questions. We will address questions in the room first and get to Zoom if time allows. Recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Now let's open it up to a statement from Coach Gleason, followed by questions for the players. We will hold questions for Coach until the end.
I just want to congratulate Oregon State. They came out and played a great game. Congratulate them on advancing to the next round. I thought we started the game pretty strong, and then that second quarter they just started to get it to Beers. And she's just such a great player, and we struggled to stop her a little bit there, and they just kind of cranked it up defensively a little bit as well. But I'm super proud of our team. This team has cemented themselves as the best team in Eastern Washington women's basketball history, and we just love every one of them, and that's what I told them when we went in there. And I'm just super proud of this entire season and this game as well.
Dan Thompson with the Spokesman Review. Jamie, I'm just curious, can you talk a bit about that first quarter? Because it seemed like that was what you needed to do to be able to win this game, is play 4 quarters of that.
Yeah, for sure. I think we came down, we got some stops, we got some rebounds, and we just really pushed the ball to get our offense going. And yeah, like Coach said, we started off really strong. And, Oregon State's a tough team, so just being able to trust who we are and trust our abilities for 4 quarters, I think that was the challenge for today. But yeah, they came out, they were more aggressive coming into the second quarter, and our response wasn't what we wanted, but just definitely proud for just fighting the rest of the game.
Guy Tannenbaum, KHQ in Spokane. For both the players, I know it's fresh, but are you guys able to look back and reflect on the season and how big of an accomplishment this is and how great of a season, truly historic season it was for Eastern women's basketball?
Yeah, it's always tough right after you lose a game, but looking back on how much we've accomplished this season, and honestly just what a great group of girls we have, it's just amazing to see that and see how far we've come and how much we've done together as a team. And honestly, this is probably the best team I've ever been on throughout my whole experience through basketball. I love these girls, and I couldn't ask for a better team.
Yeah, to echo Jay, just super proud of our team and what we've accomplished, breaking records and making history. That wasn't really on our goals this season, but it just happened, and I think it's just something to highlight and be really proud of. Just as an older player, I'm just proud of the growth that I've seen from my teammates, and just being a part of that and helping them, supporting them any way I can. It's just been really an amazing experience, and yeah, even just Jay right here, she's grown a lot since I've been here the past couple of years, and just super proud of her and what she's been through and what she's battled through. So yeah, it's been a great season, and definitely proud to be an Eag.
Nick Dashel from the Oregonian. Jamie, Oregon State had 8 turnovers in the first quarter. What did you think specifically you guys were doing to disrupt their offense?
Yeah, I mean, ball pressure was definitely key because they wanted to pound it inside to their bigs, and so applying that ball pressure was kind of what frazzled them a little bit. And we feed off of our defense; it turns into offense for us as well. So I think our ball pressure, and then just mixing it up on the ball screens and on our post defense as well.
David Graff, KNDU TV. Anybody up there, what do you guys hope that people remember most from this season of Eastern women's basketball?
Honestly, like I said before, I know it's a little repetitive, but like our community knows how great of a team we are and how close we are and how much we just genuinely care for the game and we care for each other. So outside of everything, all the records and everything that'll be put up on a banner, like this is a team that I feel like that we won't forget, and nobody will forget, that's been in the community of Eastern while we've been playing.
I mean, I would highlight our culture. I think one of our goals this season was to have the best culture in the country, and to be able to show up every day and be for each other. I mean, that's the best culture right there, and I think we showed that, and I think our community and Eastern Washington knows that Eagles women's basketball, they come to fight and they love each other.
This one's for Jay. You're a junior. How can you and the other younger players on this team use this as a catalyst for next season, season after that, et cetera?
Yeah, we always look at our past seasons and see what we can work on, and I feel like we can look at this season, and there's a lot of good things that we've done, but there's also always room for improvement and always room for growth. But also summer is super fun to be able to work out on your own, to be able to lift weights, to be able to be on your own schedule, but still working hard together. It's pretty much like playing high school again, and I think that's where we'll definitely come together and we'll be a stronger team together next year.
Dan Thompson again with the spokesman. Jamie, just walking off the court for the last time there in this game, what was that like for you to give hugs down the line?
Just like what a journey it's been. I mean, just when you pour your heart into a program and just receiving the love back, it's pretty incredible. So just super proud of what this team has done, and just got a lot of love for these girls.
Are there any other questions for the players? No. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank
you
you.
guys are good to go to the locker room. Thank you. Okay, now we can open it up to questions for Coach Gleason.
Coach Gleason, David Graff, KNDU TV. Jamie was really cooking in the first quarter. What's going through your mind as her head coach watching that all unfold?
I was just super proud. A lot of times Jamie defers to other people. Especially to start games, she looks to run the offense and is a great distributor. So I was just super proud of her. I think that she kind of recognizes that she needs to score for us as well, and so we were super proud of the way that she was cooking, and our team as a whole, we played really well that first quarter, and but just Jamie was doing Jamie things.
Coach Tannenbaum, KHQ TV. Right around a minute and a half, you took the starters out, you took Jamie out, and you got in a lot of your younger players. We were talking a lot about how you've retained so many of your players from year to year to year since you've been there. How big of a milepost is that for you in the growth of this program?
Yeah, we just wanted to get those guys a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. It's really, really hard to get here. I think that people outside the business don't realize how hard it is. And so it just, felt like those guys needed that opportunity. And so we made sure that, we got them in. And, they're very capable. We have a lot of kids on our team that deserve minutes, but we just had better players in front of them, to be honest. And so they, didn't get in as much as maybe they would like, but they compete every day in practice. And so we just wanted to give them that opportunity.
Dan Thompson again with the spokesman. Looking back at earlier in the year when you played Gonzaga and you lost by 2 to them, in some sense, was that kind of the formula to play like that again?
Yeah, we kind of went back to our Gonzaga game, our game at Cal. Those were, our 2 preseason games where, probably the toughest competition in the preseason. And you have to play your best. You don't have to be perfect, but we needed to really apply defensive pressure. We needed to force turnovers. We know that really helps us get out and score. And so that was we did look at those 2 games as catalysts for sure.
And then Coach Rip talked about how when he watched you on film, it was clear you could win one-on-one battles with your players. And I'm just curious, how well were you able to do that tonight to get those shots and get one-on-ones?
Yeah, it's a little tougher, obviously, with Oregon State. They had length at every position on us, and so those shots are just a little less open. You are a little more rushed, but I think our players still do a nice job of creating and getting pretty good looks. Aaliyah and Jamie, in particular, were able to get a lot of those looks that they normally do. So it's just a little different. It's just bigger, stronger, faster playing against these guys. So you just have less time.
You just mentioned it, getting the younger players experience. Going into this game today, only one of your players on your roster had experience in the NCAA tournament. That's Jamie.
Yeah.
She's leaving the program. We're talking about growth of this program. How transformational of a moment could this be for your program next year and beyond?
Yeah, it's huge. The only way to get experience is to get experience. And so, we have a lot of players that, started as freshmen and then are now juniors, and those guys have been here for 3 years and just, getting them into the game. A lot of sophomores that maybe didn't get as much time throughout the year, like I said, because of the depth of our starting group and, the quality of our starting group. But, just trying to give them their time.
And then going forward, how do you, build on this? And what kind of a message does this send to the rest of Eastern Washington, the rest of the country about the fact that you guys are the real deal?
You know, as coaches, we're always working extremely hard to, you know, fill the shoes on the recruiting trail. And, you know, we have some seniors in that starting lineup, 3 in particular that we need to replace. And then, you know, Gabby Young off the bench. So, you know, we're always working. We have a couple coming in already. And then, you know, so we have a couple forwards that we've already signed, but, you know, we're just always working hard to fill those shoes. And, you know, our bar is always high. We want to put out the best product that we can and, you know, represent Eastern as best as we can.
Any more questions for Coach? Good? Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Go Eagles.
Okay.